Dating in 2026 seems to be a total shit show and a complete minefield. I've had a few experiences this year where honestly, guys, I can't make head or tail of it. The whole thing just feels totally cooked. I mean, let's just start with online dating apps for a moment. Why does it feel like I have to be Napoleon or Leo DiCaprio or somebody in order to attract these women? It feels like you're constantly having to play this chess game all the time and to constantly sail the best version of yourself just to spark the right interest. And when you do match with a girl you like, I feel like there's all this strategic decision making you have to do to try and keep them interested. Like, oh, how long should I wait until I message or respond to them so I don't come across too interested or available? Or what should I text her? It's so performative, but it's performative in a way you don't want to be. Because it's not who you really are. You're just projecting. And I hate to say this, however, I have unfortunately lowered myself to this type of behavior recently. And it's made me really mad and disappointed in myself. Because I kid you not, guys, right now, where I'm at in my life, I am pretty happy with the trajectory things are taking. I mean, things aren't perfect or anything. However, I am starting to see how certain things I'm making moves on are finally starting to work and come together for me. So why the hell do I feel like I have to jump through hoops all the time with these girls just to land a date with them? And what's with all these girls and their obsession with traveling the world all the time? Literally, 95% of the profiles I come across is just women stating how their dream is to travel the world or to have lots of money. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with either of these things, but surely you have a bigger purpose and dream in your life than just these two things, right? I mean, does anybody else kind of feel the same? To me, it just seems boring and not a best utilization of your time. I mean, it really feels like you have to be the jester all the time, you know? Which unfortunately, a lot of this comes down to social media. Because people are constantly judging you online at what your life looks like on the surface. Like, how many followers do you have on TikTok or Instagram? You could be the coolest, most well-read and nicest guy with the world at your feet and everything going for you. However, if you don't have 1,000 followers or more on Instagram, it's like, sorry, bro, you're not high value enough. You know? Whereas back in the day, if you lived in the 80s or the 90s or early 2000s, none of this shit would be an issue. People would just meet like how most normal people should meet, which is naturally in a real life setting, in person. and you would connect based on a real chemistry, not some fake bullshit you have presented to everybody online that isn't even real. But I think the biggest fundamental flaw with these dating apps is there's too many options. And the way the platform is rigged is that becomes your options are endless. Like, because your options are endless, it gives you this false illusion that if you keep swiping, then you might find somebody even better and more suited to you. Therefore, what you are left with is nobody wanting to commit to somebody. It's this the grass is always greener concept, which, as we all know, isn't always the case. So there's a hidden cost to having too many options because you overlook perfectly good mates to match with, leading to missed opportunities. But saying this doesn't only apply to the digital world, unfortunately. I'll be real with you guys. I've had some pretty nuts experiences out and about when I've met girls too. I met a girl on a hike I was on a couple of months ago, as I'm part of a hiking group and we regularly go out on these epic long 10 to 15 mile hikes through the wilderness and stuff. But I met this one girl one day and we seemed to really hit it off and have a strong chemistry or whatever. And at the end of the hike, she gives me her number and we start talking for the coming days over WhatsApp. We both established that one of our favorite foods to eat is Mexican food. So we plan a date to go to this really cool spot somewhere in London, which has a reputation of making incredible Mexican food. Like, I'd heard a lot about this place through friends and just through being in London and stuff. I think I even saw something about the restaurant on Instagram. So I thought this would be a great spot for us to go and hang out and get to know each other. Anyways, a couple of days go by and I get this message from her saying, "Oh, hi Jamie, I hope you're well. I've had a think about our date we have planned this weekend, and I'm not really sure if it's a good idea now. However, I think you're really cool, and I'd love to hang out and be friends." It's like, what? How did this go from you saying you're really attracted to me and interested, and us having a date planned and a week or so of talking, to now she's completely done a U-turn? It's like, what is this? But then another week goes by and I'm on another hike, and guess who turns up again? But this same girl. And while we're on the hike, she kind of gets me when I'm alone and starts spilling all this stuff to me about how, "Oh, I'm sorry about cancelling our date, Jamie. However, I just wanted to explain that I only did that because I am planning in the next 2 years to settle down and have a family." And she goes on to say that I kind of got the impression from the things you told me about what you're doing with your career that this is not something you would be interested in. And honestly, guys, I was kind of stunned and not sure what to say. Because I remember thinking, if I were you, I probably wouldn't go around sharing that type of information with guys before you have even made it to date one. Because you might find it hard getting to date two. You know? I think to share that with somebody you have just met is jumping the gun a bit. Don't you guys? I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate her honesty and transparency and everything, but it's like, come on. It's a little too soon to drop that card. Do you not think? I mean, tell me what you guys think. I personally think that's a conversation to have way further down the line. So anyways, that was the end of that. But it doesn't even end there, guys. I was recently having coffee with a friend at this really cool boutique coffee shop I like in East London. Near to the recording studio I work out of. And my friend had brought along another one of his female friends who I had not met before. And we're sitting there and having coffee. And as we are making small talk and trying to get to know each other, I made a little observation saying she had a really cool name. And she responded by saying, "Oh, thanks, Jamie, that's so nice." Followed by, "Oh, by the way, what do you do for a living? And how much money do you make?" And I just kind of went silent for a moment and then responded with, I'm not sure why this is relevant to our conversation. Like, why do you need to know that? And she responded, "Well, if we ever went on a date, then it's important that I know these things about you." And I basically just shut it down and responded, "Well, one, how do you even know that I would be interested in going on a date with you? We've only just met. And two, if that's all you're interested in, then the chances of us now going on date two, or even date one, have just got a lot smaller. Interview terminated." Yeah? Honestly, guys, it is just bananas how the world has become with all this stuff now. And I'm honestly not sure if I want to play the game anymore. I mean, is it even worth it? If this is all that is waiting for me out there, then I'd rather stay solo and just do my own thing. You know? Because I've been single for a while now. So for somebody to enter back into my life in a romantic context, then the way I see it, they better be pretty special. And it better be fun and low key to start with. Like, I don't want to rush into anything. Because I've been doing just fine on my own. I mean, I am trying to keep my faith in the unknown, and I do believe that the right person is out there for all of us. But honestly, that belief is getting tested with me right now. And girls, I hate to say it, but you're not making it easy. However, conversely, I know it's the same with girls, too, to some degree. Although I do believe it's worse for guys, but all of us are having this problem, where it's not about vibing with somebody and establishing a real chemistry with each other anymore. Is it? You're just trying to seduce the psychology of the other person. It's a game, and it's become extremely shallow and boring, is all I can say. However, the silver lining in all of this is it's definitely given me a hell of a lot of shit to write about and to pour into my art. A lot of source material, you know? So I'm thankful for that, at least. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching.